let's make lemonade. Okay. Let's go to work.
That's the signal. Go. 6. It's beautiful. Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Wake up and hit the ground running. It's The Rush, presented by Willis Auto, with Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bringing you raw, unfiltered, and unapologetic talk about sports, life, and everything else that matters. No filtered, no fluff, just The Rush.
Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. Good to have you here on a Tuesday. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com and the Rush Radio Android app, thank you so much. And also the TuneIn app. If you're watching on YouTube this morning, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give this video a like and start leaving your comments in the comments section. And, of course, you can follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram, and now TikTok. Good morning, Ross Peterson. What's going on?
Not much, buddy. Happy Tuesday to you here.
Same to you.
Yeah.
I think we're both having a little computer problems, or the internet's been really, really weird today. Because you were having some FARC problems.
Yeah, my website that I go to for all my little rabbit holes and goofy news and stuff. It's not playing fair today, but that's all right. We'll figure it out. That's the least of the issues. Those first world problems.
X seems to be having a problem. We're not live on X this morning. For some reason, I went live. You see that little X? I don't know if you got it up in the corner of your screen.
Oh yeah, I do see that.
Yeah, it says keep trying to go live, but there's a server error with X that is not letting us go live there. Yeah. So, it's just
no biggie.
One thing pops up, but we're just going to be here having fun. Is you drink out of your Friendsgiving mug. I like that. Friendsgiving right around the corner. Thanksgiving, a week and 2 days away?
Friendsgiving actually happened on Saturday or on Sunday for me. That's where the big fish fry happened.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Friendsgiving in the books already.
Friendsgiving.
I probably have a couple.
I've never had a Friendsgiving because I don't have friends. It's really weird to say, but I don't have friends to gather like that. I have a couple of friends like you, but you're too far away to go have a Friendsgiving with. My buddy Pat, it's not something we would do. We just kind of, hang out, go to dinner. But we don't actually celebrate, come together in a Friendsgiving.
I'm lucky my buddy Mitch Gabrielson and Ed Underberg started this a couple years ago. And it's grown and grown. Every year there's new invitees. Man, I'd say north of 50 people, something like that this year.
Really? That's a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people. And everybody brings, so dude, you have an amazing amount of food. My buddy John Olson, his son played. They're high school kids that are musicians, so they brought their equipment. And we set it up, and they had a little performance. So yeah, we had music, we had live music, bonfire, great food.
Now, do you take advantage of the Friendsgiving and go, "Hi, Ross Peterson, Realtor," and hand out a business card?
Nope. My buddy
I
Adam
like
Benson.
you, and I respect you for that, by the way.
Yeah, dude, I've been at events where people do that, and then they like people that are really successful will say that's what you have to do. You always have to be telling people you're a realtor. Everywhere you go, you tell people you're a realtor. And then I've even had people say, if you go to the store and you tell the clerk that you're a realtor, you can write off your groceries. I'm like, I think you're breaking the law.
You can write off your groceries?
I don't think that's how that's supposed to happen.
Wow. Wow. Good idea, but if you get away with it, that's fine. I'm not willing to take that kind of risk with the IRS.
Dude, listen, ethics is a gray area. I'm learning in the real estate world. It's wild. I heard one the other day that was crazy, and I reached out to Mark and I'm like, "Hey, man, I heard this thing. I think this is unethical." And he's like, "Nope, not unethical. Nope, not against our rules at all. We're basically, I heard that there are agents that are." If I'm going to show you a house, Travis, I have to have you sign a contract. That's part of that lawsuit that happened a year ago. So I can't open a door for you without saying, hey, I'm officially your agent when we walk in this house.
Is it only for that house? Is it a one-day thing?
When I sign contracts with people, that's what I do. I usually do a 1 day or house specific or something like that, unless I know we're going to be looking at houses for a while, and then maybe I'll write them for a week or something like that, okay? And then once the person actually writes the house, then you've got that contract. That's kind of your base contract to go with off with everything. But I heard the other day that there are agents that are saying, I will show you houses, but you have to pay me. So even if you don't buy a house, this contract that you're signing says that you're going to have to owe me for my time. I'm leaving my family. I'm spending money. I'm using
That's
my
your
expertise.
job.
You're going to have to pay me no matter what I do, if we write an offer or not. And I heard that. I had a client reach out and say, hey, I'm under contract with this other agent. I'm not really crazy about it. I signed a contract that says if I don't buy a house, it's a 6-month contract. So not a 1 day, not a 1 week. It's a 6-month contract with my agent. And if I don't buy a home with you, you owe me $1,000.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh, that sounds illegal. And I reached out to Mark. I'm like, is this illegal? It's certainly unethical. And he says, not illegal, and unfortunately not unethical either. So it's weird, dude. It's a weird world.
Who defines ethics? Like, you know,
great question.
This is going to be a rabbit hole I want to go down now, because it's like, I think ethics is different for everybody. I think there would be some people who look, especially 15 years ago when we started this show, the way we did this show and the way we did it, people were like, I wouldn't say it was unethical, but you're like, oh, you're unprofessional. This isn't the way you do radio. And I'm like, well, define who determines the way you do radio, right? So when it comes to ethics, there is a fine line, but I think your ethical threshold is different than everybody's ethical threshold.
Bus nailed it. Could have just left it at ethics is a gray area. That would seem to hold true in so many areas.
I mean, let's use college football, college basketball. We talk about taking the rule book up to the line on some people, especially before NIL, maybe even now after NIL. There are some people who go, well, I'm fine with that. There would be other coaches go, I'm not ethically fine with that. So ethics is a personal thing, right? Is like, do we define our own ethical standard, or does somebody else define our own ethical standard?
Our own ethical standards defined by us.
Okay.
But in a business, there should be some actual guidelines and some barriers. Who defines that? You know the guy that taught my ethics class. You went to school with him.
Oh, Bill Jennings, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it's a gray area.
Because you looked at that and said, no, that's unethical.
It's got to be unethical. And I reached out to my boss, and he's like, no, unfortunately, that. And he explained why. And there are probably realtors listening right now that go, I do that. And I do it because it is my time. And like you said, it is my job. Well, you like to get paid for your job. That's a nice thing. It's nice to get paid when you do a job.
Yeah,
and so
it's 6:08. I'm going to do a name drop now. I'm going to drop the John Higgins name, right? And
all right.
And I'm going to use this as an example. I always asked him. I said, "Hey, you make a lot of money officiating. What would you rather do? Would you rather be an independent contractor like you are, knowing that if you get injured, you're out money because you can't perform, or would you rather be an employee of the NCAA, take a 50% pay cut, and have like health insurance and stuff like that?" He goes, "I would take that all day long."
Yeah.
Because it was a guaranteed, right? I mean, you would be like, okay, I know I'm going to get my paycheck. I'm going to have health insurance. I'm going to be able to do that. Sure, I'm going to make less money. Do you think realtors, and I'm just throwing this out there, if you said, hey, you get this as a salary, that way you're getting paid for your time, and you would get a bonus maybe at the end of the year based on what you produced.
I think a lot of realtors would jump at that, Travis,
Yeah.
but it would all depend on how much volume you're producing. My first couple of years, I absolutely would have signed up for that. And right now, I'd look at that and go, I'm probably going to leave money on the table if I do that.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing pretty well. I'm selling houses. I'm helping people buy houses, and that's kind of the goal here. Dude, the biggest thing, though, you throw in insurance, and it's such a game changer. Right now, if the health insurance plan that I have been presented with, and big thanks to one of our listeners, Bill, who helped me out when I was bitching a couple months ago about not having health insurance. He reached out and he's like, hey, man, November is the sign-up period. I'm going to reach out to you. And he did. He reached out to me on November 1st, and he helped me through a whole bunch of stuff. But, dude, I can't pull the trigger. It's too expensive. It's too expensive. If I wanted health insurance next year, it would cost me $12,000 out of pocket.
$1,000 a month. It's
$400, $450 a month, something like that, just to insure me. And then there's an $8,000 out-of-pocket deductible.
Wow, so that's a high deductible plan.
It's a high deductible plan, but I mean, that's what I'm looking at. That's insane. That's insane. And people, wow, but man, what if something catastrophic happens? Keep fingers crossed and praying to the Lord I don't, because I can't take on that bill right now. I can't. If I knew that I had, a great year coming, I'd sign up for it willingly and then try to take advantage of it. But that doesn't include. Yeah, look, a dude from Iowa, $760 a month for him.
And that probably didn't include your kids, did it?
No, that's just me. That's just me. It's insane. Health insurance is a scam. I mean, it's an absolute scam. Insurance companies are one of the few industries that have actually done great over the last couple of years. Great. And what do they provide? They're money changers. So I hate it. I hate all forms of insurance. I hate all of it.
Yeah, they're necessary evils, right? In that.
Necessary is a wiggle. There's an ethics. There's an ethics conversation to be had there.
Well, and the ethical problem is this to me with the insurance companies. Like if you have, like when I had the flood, right? They're like, well, you've had this claim. I go, it's my first claim in 30 years.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you actually tried to use our product?
Yes.
How dare you?
And now we may have to drop you. You were on like the watch list. I'm like,
how
what do you mean
dare you actually
me?
Try to use this product that you've been paying religiously for 30 years? What the hell is wrong with you? That's
the crazy thing is, we talk about sectors that are ripe for disruption, and disruption's a big word, but disruption means like when VRBO disrupt the hotel industry, right? When they came in and say, hey, you can rent a house. Now it's not that you're saving any more money. You're probably just getting a lot more space. Uber obviously disrupted the taxi service. Yep. I'm surprised nobody's been able to disrupt the insurance agencies.
Because it's a cabal.
It's a good way to look at it.
It's a cabal. And there is absolutely collusion happening amongst the insurance companies to raise rates, to lower to lessen the efficiency of the product. Do you think that all of them just decided to start, deciding whether they would insure a house based on the age of the roof here in the last year or two? No, they went. It's a cabal. It is absolutely an illegal collusion where they know they've got you by the short and curlies. And then, just like everything, once the government gets involved, it's screwed. It's screwed. As soon as the government
become more efficient by any means.
Yeah, right. As soon as the government came in and said, don't worry, everybody, we got this. We got this. We're going to take care of it. We're going to pass the Affordable Care Act. What have we talked about with politics? Every time they name a bill, it's everything but the name. It's everything but the name. The Affordable Care Act. Get the out of here.
See, I'm lucky. I pay zero for my health care at my and that, but that makes it. I mean, that really kind of forces you to stay wherever you're at. I'm happy where I'm at, but when you pay zero for it, you're like, okay, that's a pretty good deal.
Just saw Jason say he's going to have to find a new job, and Jason just got awarded at his job. Congratulations, by the way, Jason. I saw that on Facebook, and he just posted, I'm probably going to have to find a new job because of the cost of health care.
Wow. Crazy.
Twitter went live. Look at us. Got the green check mark. Thanks, Tyler.
I kept hitting the button, and apparently the Elon was working on the servers and got them all fixed. Elon to the rescue is what happened. James Franklin has landed a new job. The fired Penn State coach has been on the beach for the last, 5 or 6 weeks. It was announced last night that he has taken the job at Virginia Tech. This means, written into the contract, the Penn State buyout drops from $49 million, Ross, to $9 million. So Penn State, benefits from that.
Do you think Penn State was calling Virginia Tech saying, hey, we'd float you a couple mil to pay this dude because we're going to say 40 if you hire the guy. So we'll give you 10.
And that's those mitigated circumstances. If you get another job, you don't get the full $49 million. So that makes a lot of sense. $9 million is still a lot of money. And Virginia Tech was probably able to take that into account when they said, hey, we're going to negotiate your salary here. We know you're going to get $9 million now from Penn State. Help us out a little bit, and everything works out, you'll get a little bit of a bump. His salary at Virginia Tech has not been announced yet, but he's going to have his news conference tomorrow. Does it surprise you that James Franklin went to Virginia Tech?
No, this is exactly the place, Travis. The week he was fired, you said, here, this would be a great fit for the guy. And as soon as you said it, was like, oh, yeah, that would be a good fit. I saw Chad Lystico tweet that same thing. Like, man, I think this is a great hire. I think this is a great fit for both the school and the coach. Who knows, dude? We've been wrong about this stuff before. We coaches have been hired. I thought Kelly was going to be great at LSU, and I thought he was which Kelly was at Notre Dame? Wasn't it Brian Kelly at Notre Dame too? Yeah, I thought he was. So there have been so many times, guys. I thought Les Miles was going to turn things around at Kansas.
So did I. I fell into that trap, dude, big time.
Like, wrong guy to ask because I've been wrong so often about these coach fit and think. Good for him. Good for Virginia Tech. They've obviously got a good coach. And they can kind of move forward, and that's fine. How he'll do, time will tell.
Well, and I think one of the things he took the job for, and he was looking at other jobs where it reportedly came out that the infrastructure of the athletic department and the commitment to the athletic department wasn't quite what he wanted. Virginia Tech has pledged over the next 4 years a $229 million influx of cash to the athletic department, specifically the football program, because we are getting away from facilities. We're getting away from all that stuff. You need cash to function in the NIL world and to be able to, attract players to your school. So really, you'll see coaches maybe stay at a place a little bit longer because there's a good infrastructure in place. Coaches that you see leave might be actually for the bigger job, but those bigger jobs better have something in place where there's guaranteed cash to where you're going to be able to compete. It's not about the locker rooms anymore. A little bit, but it's all about how are you going to help me go out and get players in the open market and be able to succeed. Because if you don't have that commitment, there's no way you're going to be able to compete.
Just the facilities race is the arms race in their locker room and the facilities. That's so 1999. That's so 2005, right? And now it is absolutely how much money can you put in my pocket. You're going to have those things still. You still better budget to update those things every couple of years. But you don't have to put slides in the football facility anymore just to spend the cash. Again, not to beat that old dead horse I've been soapboxing on for years, but that was part of the nonprofit part of college sports. They got to spend that money, baby. They got to spend it as fast as they can make it. And now they all look around and pull out their empty pockets and go, oh, Ole Miss about to do the same thing.
And Captain Kirk says the Maryland football going to lose out because of this. There's going to be other Big Ten schools that lose out because of this. I think Rutgers is going to be in a tough spot. I think maybe at Purdue, maybe in Illinois is going to be in a tough spot. That's why they want this private equity deal, which would have thrown $100 million into the athletic departments, as we've called it, and others have called it a payday loan. Ross, it has been announced that the UC Investment Corporation has now put a pause on the $2.4 billion influx of cash to the Big Ten Conference because they want unity. And I'm a conspiracy theory guy. Is it Tony Petitti who says, hey, I can't get Michigan and USC on board. Can you make the announcement that you're going to pause it so I can save face because I gave them an ultimatum? Or was it UC Investments who said, hey, if we don't have 18 teams here, if we don't have USC, if we don't have Michigan, then our $2.4 billion investment is not worth what it's worth.
It's absolutely the latter there. It's absolutely the latter. That, in my mind, that it's the UC system that looked around and said, hold on, we threw that number out there thinking that we were going to get the Big Ten. But now you're telling us we're going to get the Big Ten minus two of the biggest brands? There's only about, let's name the big brands in nationwide, the big brands in the Big Ten. Who are they?
Ohio State, Michigan, USC, Oregon. Those would be your four biggest, I believe.
I would agree with you. Penn State, fifth?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think Penn State's even in the realm of those four.
I'm with you. I would agree. I'm just
yeah.
That gives you an idea of kind of the hierarchy there. So two of the top four are saying, "Whoa, we're going to back out of this thing. If you guys sign that deal, we're going to back out. We're going to find her." And by the way, then all these things started to leak that they're already making inroads. That they've both reached out to the ACC and some other groups to say, "Hey, what would happen if?" Yeah, I think this is absolutely the UC system stepping in and saying, "Hold on, we made that offer for that group." If Purdue and Northwestern said, "Hey, we're thinking about backing out of this," they wouldn't have batted an eye. They would have been like, "Okay,
see you later."
See you later. So I think it's absolutely the UC system that stepped up to say, we don't want to give you that amount of money if we're not going to get the product that you're telling us you're going to get.
Burger Machuk says Michigan and USC saving the Big Ten from itself.
I agree on this, by the way, Burger. I agree. Inadvertently, the Michigan and USC standing up and saying, we're not sure we like this deal. Dude.
Well, look how history kind of repeats itself. How much did we and even others laugh at the ACC for having a grant of rights deal that was so out of whack to where you could not make any more money. You couldn't renegotiate with ESPN. And now with an investment deal, you want to extend the grant of rights to 2046. And the USC or the Michigan Board of Directors said, hey, that's the deal breaker right there. The deal breaker is the grant of rights because we don't know what's going to happen in college football in 4 years, let alone 20 years. And if you're locked into this till 2046, you lose all negotiating power. You lose anything to adjust to the system that's out there.
What a weird couple of years it has been, man. Just go back a few years and imagine telling people around the Big Ten, hey, in a few years, the UC system is going to own the Big Ten. We live in bizarro world, man.
We really do. I'm actually glad this has been put on hold. And I'm not saying I wouldn't support it in some way, but to give your grant of rights away for 20 years is just an asinine thing to do. You know, and USC and Michigan are looking at it like, well, hold on for a second. Just because Illinois needs cash and we don't, we can survive off this. And we want to help little brother out. But there's got to be, it's not our fault that 22% of the athletic budget goes to football at Illinois and only 11% goes to the athletic budget at Michigan or USC. We're managing our fiscal responsibility a little bit better. And not everything's the same. I understand that. The Michigan being a bigger brand has more advantages. But you don't want to give away the house just to save everybody else. And this is where you find where it's every man for himself, right? You're like, okay.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of the whole realignment thing that happened was when all of these guys, like I hate beating these dead horses and constantly bringing this stuff up, but it was funny to me when these Big 12 schools started to, we're unified. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're all looking out for yourself. And it's the exact same thing in the Big 10. That's why I don't understand why people, they get like brainwashed by these conference brands. I'm a Big 10 guy. The hell does that mean? You root for the schools that have decided to negotiate together? What a weird thing to do. I'm a Big 12 man. Always have been.
Until
what does that mean? What does that mean? You're a Missouri and Nebraska fan? Does that mean you're an Oklahoma and Texas A&M fan? Or like, what does that
Texas
mean?
A&M was in the Big 12 at one point.
Yeah. What does that mean? Because what it means is you've been brainwashed. What it means is you're repeating things that other people have said to you. They don't care about each other. They negotiate with each other. They collude with each other to try to get more money. But when it comes down to it, they're all looking out for themselves. Michigan and USC are the latest example of it. The Big Ten is negotiating with the UC system. No, they're not. No, they're not. Because 2 of those schools have said, we're not doing this. So what does that mean?
Is it weird to say that Michigan and USC are looking out for themselves and the Big Ten at the same time?
I agree with what who was it that said it? Tony
Burger McChick.
Burger Mc. I agree with Burger, who said the USC and Michigan have saved the Big Ten from themselves. Totally agree with that. And you nailed it. It's because of that length of the grant of rights deal, which we all laughed at when we found out the ACC had locked themselves into a bad deal for a long time. And here's the deal. The crazy part of this is we wouldn't know if this is a good deal or a bad deal for about 5-7 years. We wouldn't know. You got to let the financials of and in fact, Travis, it might be 5-7 years down the road. We look at this and go, oh man, remember when they could have cashed out? Man, think if they would have done that. So it might be that that USC and Michigan actually prevent the Big Ten from saving themselves, because you're right. They're not all in the same boat. They're all in the same storm. They're not all in the same boat. Michigan's boat is way bigger than Illinois'. It's way more established to handle a storm. You've got Purdue, Northwestern. You've got a lot of schools in the Big Ten, quite frankly, that are looking around going, we could really use that money. We couldn't use it. We need it. And could be. We'll wait and see. It's the old Chinese, it's that old Chinese proverb, man. We'll see. Oh, your horse ran away. That's really sad. We'll see. Wow.
515-517-2303. Coming up at 7:30, Joe Woodley, head coach of the Drake Bulldog football team, going to be joining us. Win and you're in the FCS playoffs. It's that simple, folks. Just win and you're in. I don't think Joe's going to think it's that easy, right. But that's what's right in front of the Drake Bulldogs. It is the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
'Tis the season to share great taste. Grab a refreshing Coca-Cola and make every moment a celebration. Locally made, nationally loved, Coca-Cola is the real deal when it comes to holiday cheer. Whether you're kicking back after the game or hosting the crew, nothing hits like that crisp, fizzy taste. Make this season yours. Grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola today.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
My name's Gary Prosnell, and I'm a residential home mortgage banker for Northwest Bank in Des Moines Metro Market. I've been financing people's homes for over 25 years, and I'm an expert in financing VA loans, FHA loans, IFA loans, and new construction homes. This is my cat Norm. Norm knows football, but he doesn't know mortgage. And that's where I come in. There are a lot of Tom, Dick, and Norms out there doing loans. So don't just trust anyone with your home loan. I'm your local, trusted, experienced expert.
loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on therushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
Hey everybody, Mason Miller, sales manager out here at Willis Infinity, and this month we invite you to join us on our Once in a Wintertime sales event. Fall into savings this month by leasing an all-new 2026 QX60 Lux for as little as $799 a month for 24 months with just $5,000 down. Also take advantage of the 2.9% rate that Infinity is offering on both 2026 QX60 and QX80, and an additional $3,000 off of the new 2026 QX80. For more information, come say hi in our showroom or visit us online at willisinfinity.com.
Get ready for a gemtastic day at Fiscus Jewelers. Join us Saturday, November 22nd from 9 to 3 for a gem trunk show you won't want to miss. It's the perfect time to pick up your favorite gemstone and create a custom piece for the holidays. Plus, take $250 off a custom design for this day only. We'll have fun giveaways throughout the day, so if you're looking for that perfect gem, we've got you covered. It's a gemtastic show like no other. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
The best bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday.
Looking for the perfect golf escape? Experience links-style golf right here in Ames at Coldwater Golf Links. With rolling fairways, large greens, and unique routing, it's golf the way it's meant to be played. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, you'll love our course's welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. Grab your clubs, book a tee time, and make every round unforgettable. Coldwater Golf Links, where great golf leads to great memories. Visit coldwatergolf.com to book your round today.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
When you think of Central City Liquors, just don't think of liquor, think of propane. That's right. They have the cheapest propane exchange in Central Iowa by a pretty large margin. So if you need to fill up that propane tank, go to Central City Liquors. I know construction is really bad on 2nd Avenue. Brian Duax knows it. The Todd father knows it. But they're still giving the best prices on anything you want. Tequilas, 125 of them in the store, 100 plus bourbons, 100 plus scotches. Hard to find items are regularly stocked, excluding those unicorn bourbons, which they do have, by the way. And the new Rush Radio Show Maker's Mark is going to be coming out in either December or early January, so get ready for that. Central City Liquors at 1460 2nd Avenue in Des Moines. Ross brought up, we were talking about James Franklin taking the Virginia Tech job. Lane Kiffin has been in the news because Ole Miss has 10 wins this year. They're 10-1, most likely going to make the playoffs. But Ross, they have an off week this week, and there are two major jobs open that Lane Kiffin is reportedly a candidate for. One would be Florida, the other would be LSU. It has been there was a picture of Lane getting off a plane in Baton Rouge yesterday. There were like fans camped out at the airport in camo, like waiting for him to get off the plane. So he is reportedly, him and his family, taking a trip to Gainesville to look at Gainesville, and now taking a trip to LSU to look at Baton Rouge and the Tiger program. All at the same time, Ole Miss has given him an ultimatum to make a decision on whether he wants to be the Ole Miss coach by the Egg Bowl, which is coming up on November 28th. You posed the best question when it came to the ultimatum.
Then what?
Ooh. Yeah.
Then what? What are you gonna do? Like, you know, the things that ran through my head last night are, oh man, he better make that decision quick, because if he makes the decision afterwards, then they'll fire him and pay him. What a crazy thing for Ole Miss to do. And then I saw that tweet that came out yesterday, and it's like, ultimatum. What will Lane Kiffin do? I've told you this in the past. I'll repeat it again. Ultimatums don't work. Human beings hate being cornered. We're animals. We're animals. We hate being cornered. We will do crazy, weird stuff once we're cornered.
I'm going to ask you. I'm going to play scenario with you.
Okay,
Can we play a scenario with
Fire
you?
Fire away. I like this
game. I want you to say, is this an ultimatum? Because sometimes I look at clickbait and stuff that say, ultimatum. If the athletic director from Ole Miss pulls Lane and says, hey, I know you're a candidate. I know you're going to go look at Florida and LSU, and I'm fine with that. However, that's going to put us in a pretty bad situation if you take these jobs. If you could make your mind up by the Egg Bowl, just so we know which direction you're going to go, because we don't want to get through the playoff and lose a head coach in February. Yeah. Is that an ultimatum? I mean, when you say, hey, if you could make your decision by the Egg Bowl, so we're all these jobs are open. If you're going to take it, but just let us know. Is that a strong ultimatum, or is that trying to? That's the role. That's the role. When I frame it like that.
I think it's just an obvious thing to say. It's something that doesn't need to be said. Because the response to that is, so what? So what? If Lane Kiffin decides in the middle of December to take a job, what does that mean for Ole Miss?
Well, if you're in the playoff, it means you may not have the head coach who got you to the playoff coaching you in the playoff.
So get your ducks in a row. Get things ready for that potential possibility. You think did Brian Harden get to say this to Ben McCollum? Hey, if you're going to take another job, I need to know by X date. So no, he just got his ducks in a row. All right, if Ben McCollum takes that job, I've got this list of guys to reach out to. If Ben McCollum doesn't take that job, good news for me. I think if you're Ole Miss, your better option right now. By the way, this is waving the white flag. I was blown away when I saw this thing yesterday, because what Ole Miss should have done was pulled him in and said, "Hey, Lane, here's the deal. You can win here. You can win here. You've been looking for a place for decades. You've been looking for a place to call home. You've been looking for a place that you could make it your own. You found it. You found it. You win a couple of key games in the next few months, there's going to be a freaking statue of you outside of the stadium. You want to build a leg?
There's going to be a statue of him now anyway.
No, there won't. No, there won't.
No, if he stayed. I mean, you're right.
You got to win. You got to win in order to get this. You got to win, right? And
4 straight 10-win seasons is winning in Ole Miss.
That's a good point.
Yes.
That's a good point. Yeah. You got to stick around and you got to win. I pulled up Lane Kiffin's Wikipedia because I always find this interesting about how, he was at USC from 2001 through 2006, which sounds like a long time when you see it all piled up, because he's never been able to stick around a place. 4 or 5 years. He's kind of got that Jim Harbaugh thing about him. He got about 4 or 5 years before everybody looks around and goes, we don't really want this guy around. Now, I think I've seen a change in Lane Kiffin. At least we've seen a change in his kind of persona, his public persona, where now he's a little bit more self-deprecating. He seems a little bit more humbled in a weird way. But is he? If I'm Ole Miss, I think that they really misplayed their hand here. I'm not kidding, because instead of saying ultimatum, you make this decision now or never. What they should have done was gone out and re-recruited the guy. What they should have gone out and done was said, this is the spot for Lane Kiffin. We don't think he's going to take one of those other jobs because we think we have welcomed him in here. We think that we've got everything that he needs to win right here, right now. Can LSU pay him more money? Yep, they can. Can LSU give him a better opportunity to win? He's won 10 games.
For 4 straight years, I believe it is.
So what do we need to do here? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? You can't win a national title at Ole Miss? Well, then what are you doing right now? You're in the running. You think something magically happens when you go put on the purple and gold? I think Lane Kiffin leaves. I think Lane, because of an ultimatum, because people hate ultimatums, And because Lane Kiffin's always looking for something better. The grass has always been greener for Lane Kiffin somewhere else.
I'll push that back a little bit because when the Auburn job was open 2 years ago, a lot of people thought he was going to leave for Auburn. And Auburn made no bones about it. They wanted Lane Kiffin. They pursued Lane Kiffin. He chose not to take the Auburn job. So he could have left 2 years ago. And so I don't think I'll push back on that narrative a little bit. But now, obviously, when Florida calls or LSU calls, you have to you listen. I mean, if they call, you listen.
Yeah,
and so I do know that Ole Miss has been working on an extension, working on a pay raise, and I'm with you. We need to get out of this blue blood way of thinking because Lane Kiffin has proven you can win at Ole Miss. And in today's day and age, you win with financial support, not facilities.
Yep.
It used to be, as we talked about last segment, it used to be, here's our locker room, here's our traditions. It's obvious the way he's worked the transfer portal, Ole Miss has money to work with and has gone out and got the players to be competitive in the SEC and to be in a college football playoff contention.
I wish I could remember who it was, Trav. I was listening to somebody last night talking about Dan Lanning. And will Dan Lanning leave Oregon? And the response was no. He's got everything. How does the SEC not see this? The world has changed. Because now everybody gets to pay players. Wink, wink. It used to be a few schools that had it figured out how to get these guys the cash so that they'd stick around. Now everybody can do it. And organizations like Indiana with Mark Cuban money, organizations like Oregon with Nike money, you get the right people, and all of a sudden you don't need to have the SEC brand behind you. So would Dan Lanning leave Oregon? No. Would Lane Kiffin leave Ole Miss? I look at Lane Kiffin's. I've got his Wikipedia up right now with that entire job history thing. I don't need to look farther than that to go, oh, Lane Kiffin's a bouncer. I don't know that the legacy conversation would matter to Lane Kiffin. I don't think he really. I don't know.
Well,
maybe
he was fired by the Raiders, so he didn't bounce from the Raiders. He got fired.
Yep.
He did. The only one he bounced he bounced two. He bounced Tennessee after 1 year, and he bounced Florida Atlantic, which is understandable because you're not going to stay at Florida Atlantic your whole career. USC, I'm going to defend him at USC because he was there, 5 years, you said? And he got fired on the tarmac.
He fired after 3 years.
Remember, he took over a program that was decimated with scholarship reductions, a whole bunch of stuff because of Pete Carroll. The worst thing that Lane Kiffin did was he won year one there. And they were like, oh, you can win under these circumstances. And then it's the after effect of that. And then Pat Hayden fired him on the tarmac. So he was fired from two of those jobs, bounced from two of those jobs.
But the USC, even your defense of him at USC is kind of strange. Like, he took over a horrible situation. He won the first year.
Because a lot of those guys were still in place from the Pete Carroll era.
So tell me, so I understand.
Yeah, but you can't, when your scholarships are reduced by so much,
you got to hit. You got to have a higher hit rate.
And if you don't,
he didn't have a high hit rate. And so he got fired on the tarmac. They looked around and said, we can do better than this guy. And
they
again,
haven't.
it's the heart. No, well,
until now. I mean, Sarkisian did okay, but then he went fight on. Got drunk, and then Helton didn't do that well. And Lincoln Riley's done okay. I wouldn't say Lincoln Riley has lived up to his reputation that he had at Oklahoma.
No, I'd agree with that. I'm not. I don't put coaches on pedestals, Lane Kiffin included.
It's a dangerous thing to do.
It's a really it really is. So we will see what happens. If I'm Ole Miss, I think that they misplayed their hand here, and I think instead of coming out and doing ultimatum, you either make this decision or don't. He's gone. He's gone now. I completely believe he's gone. And if I'm Lane Kiffin, by the way, what do? I call their bluff. I wait until after the Egg Bowl, and then I make my decision. Because what a weird thing. What is the or else in this ultimatum? Most of the time with the boss, it's you either do this or you get fired. What are they going to do? Fire him and pay him a buyout so he gets $100 million not to coach Ole Miss and then gets to go? What? What are they going to do? They're going to lock him in his office? They're going to take away his phone? They're going to not let him play PlayStation? What's the or else that happens if he doesn't do what they asked him to do?
It's a poker game. Right?
I don't know either. It's a poker game where one team doesn't have any cards. Ole Miss doesn't have a hand to play.
Has every card in the deck. He's holding all 52 cards.
That's why Ole Miss's right play here, I think, should have been re-recruit the guy. Same thing you've got to do with your star athletes every year. You got to convince them this is the spot for you. This is the best place for you. We believed in you. We gave you that chance after, Florida Atlantic. We did that. And now we've given you the resources to build this thing and have a 10-win team. You go ahead. You can go to LSU. Do you know what LSU is? LSU is the Baton Rouge USC. Your expectations are going to be crazy. If you lose 3 games in a row against really good teams, you're going to get fired from there. LSU will get sick of you. Just like they did with Ed Orgeron, just like they did with Brian Kelly. They're going to get sick of you very quickly. And by the way, Lane Kiffin has demonstrated he's pretty easy to get sick of pretty quick.
Everywhere but Ole Miss. They love him at Ole Miss.
This would be the conversation I would have if I'm the Ole Miss athletic director. Dude, you don't want to go there. You don't want to leave this place. We like you. We want to support you. But the ultimatum, horrible play.
They have worked on an extension for him. They have worked on a pay raise for him. So I think they are re-recruiting him, maybe not in a public sense. But if you say, hey, here's our offer, and we want you here.
Yeah.
You don't say, hey, if you could give us a decision, at least.
And I think, Travis, it's okay to explain that timeline to him, too. And say, man, here's the deal. If you wait until right before the playoff to do this, it really makes it hard for us. But that doesn't mean that's not going to factor in like, I make your life more difficult. Oh, okay, well then I'll turn down millions of dollars and an opportunity to. You have to present to him, this is your best opportunity. And I think that's the way that it should have gone down. And by the way, I don't think it's such a weird thing anyway. So James Franklin is off the board.
James Franklin's off the board.
Okay. Are all of these other coaches that you might want to hire going to lock into other positions between now and the Egg Bowl? The answer to that's no.
No.
The answer to that's no. And if you're the Ole Miss athletic director and you're putting together your list of coaches, aren't most of those guys, don't most of them have jobs right now?
I would say yes.
I would agree. I would say yes. So I just didn't understand the ultimatum at all last night. I kind of let it bounce around my brain for a while. I'm going, what am I missing? Why do they have to know in the next couple of weeks? Why? What is... Yeah, if you go into the college football playoff and you don't have your head coach, that's going to suck. That's going to really, really suck. Does it mean you can't?
I would have said after the Egg Bowl anyway, because the last thing you want to do is lose to your rival. Because if you go into a game knowing that your head coach is gone, how motivated are you going to be to beat your arch rival in Mississippi State? Yeah. I'd be like, okay, the season's going to end. You're not going to be in the SEC championship game. I would wait till after the Egg Bowl to make up that decision.
I agree with Captain Kirk Hawk. Why did Ole Miss do that? Because they know he's gone.
And there could be some truth to that.
They know he's gone. They know he's going to leave. They know they can't compete with that. Their brand isn't LSU. Their brand isn't, I mean, come on, Florida?
What's a bigger brand, LSU or Florida?
I think that's the wrong question.
Okay, what's a better job, LSU or Florida?
There you go. That's the right question. And I want to say LSU on that, but before it comes out of my mouth, my brain goes, "Are you sure about that?"
I actually say LSU is a better job.
I would. My instinct is to say LSU.
You're the only major division. I mean, there's other Division I schools, but you are, when it comes to the state of Louisiana, LSU is it. I mean, that's it. In Florida, you've got Miami, you got Florida State, you've got. I mean, there's other players in there that command the attention. You don't get the fan base of the entire state. LSU, you pretty much got the fan base of the entire state on your side. Support will be there. Now, one of the knocks of the job is the way Brian Kelly was fired. All of a sudden, you're like, okay, the political aspect of it, if the governor's getting involved, is that something you want to experience with? Right? All of a sudden, you're doing, I just want to coach football. I don't want to have to worry about keeping the governor happy. And you know your buyout isn't going to be as sweet because they're not going to financially allow that to happen again.
Right.
Yeah, the drama that we see in college football is interesting. And rarely are they played out in public like this. We know coaches leave year to year. To be this public about it is very, it's strange, right? Yeah. But, I mean, Lane Kiffin is the hottest name in coaching because people look at him and go, how did you do that at Ole Miss? Well, you were able to do it because you got support from a university who gave you the freedom, the literal freedom to kind of run a program the way you want to run a program.
And he's a great coach. Yeah. How did you do it? You had all the support there, and you were the right guy to come in and take this thing over, had the right attitude, recruited the right players, got the right people around you. We'll see.
Yeah. They don't play this week, so and I now his Tuesday press conference next week is going to be like must watch. How was Gainesville? How was Baton Rouge? Those are your questions. Not how's Mississippi State coming up? Iowa State got a win on the basketball floor last night, as we expected, beating Stonehill College. They are the what, Ross?
They are the Skyhawks.
Yes, very good memory.
Out of 20 miles south of Boston, in the Boston area.
It sounds like a song, doesn't it? 20 miles out of Boston?
Yeah, the Skyhawks, of course. Surprised you didn't know that.
Easton, Massachusetts, I believe it is. 96-57 the final. Joshua Jefferson, Taman Lipsey with 23 points each. They forced 20 turnovers yesterday, scored 28 points off those turnovers, never trailed in the game. Now it gets real for the Cyclones. Up next, St. John's, and then Creighton. So you got the Patsies are done. You're going to play some legitimate competition coming up next, which the way Iowa State's playing defensively and offensively, these are going to be great games to watch. St. John's will be a thriller. I think they're going to beat Creighton quite handily. Creighton, not that good, got hammered by Gonzaga the other night, but even though Creighton won the scrimmage, you got to remember, it's just a scrimmage. Don't read too much into those preseason scrimmage games because you just get playing a pickup game. Drake actually got a win last night. Wow, going on the I was worried, and I'm still worried about Drake a little bit, but that was a must-get win. You go on the road, you beat the College of Charleston last night, 71-62. They also did not trail, Ross. The big thing was they were able to hit their three-pointers, hit a season-high 11 three-pointers last night, and shot the ball lights out in the second half, shooting 56% from the field, and got good bench play, too. They outscored the College of Charleston bench 25-10. I just think morale-wise, what a win does for Hendo and that team after getting beat at home twice already, by SIU Edwardsville and, of course, Robert Morris. Just morale, that's got to be a huge boost.
We talk about that a lot. Like the must-win thing is so weird to say and try to justify, but there are times when you're like, man, we just need something to turn this ship around. We got to get morale going again. If it's in the locker room, if it's in the fan base, We got to get some optimism. That last night was one of those games. Nice that they were able to dominate in that way, not trail. That had to be a little bit more comfortable for Hendo. So yeah, that's a nice win for Drake.
And a true road win, as Tyler points out.
Yeah.
Ray's been asking this for a couple days, and I don't know the answer, Ray. I guess I could use the quick Google machine. Maybe Ross can. Remember the old great Alaska shootout that used to happen? Ray's asking, is there a preseason tournament? Is there an early season tournament in Alaska anymore? I haven't heard of the Great Alaska Shootout in a long time.
The Great Alaska Shootout 2025 tournament was not held. The last Great Alaska Shootout was in 2019, and the event has not resumed since. A different tournament, the Sea Wolves Sport Fest, was held in 22 and 23. It's a women's basketball tournament held in November. Will be held on November 22nd, actually. So coming up in a couple days, we'll feature Bowling Green, UC Irvine, St. Thomas, or UAA. And please don't ask me what UAA is.
University of Alaska Anchorage.
Look at you. What's their mascot, Smarty?
The Mammoths.
The Sea Lions. The Great Whites. Oh, that'd be bad. You couldn't do that.
No. Ross knew it as soon as he said it. He goes,
as soon as it came out of my mouth.
Face, you're like, did I just say that?
No, you can't call yourself the Great
sharks.
Whites.
You bet Great White Shark, right?
Yeah.
But just say the Great Whites, you went, oh, I shouldn't have said that. I need to pause in time.
Tyler, the polar bears? That'd be good for Anchorage.
But yeah, I mean, the Great Alaska Shootout used to be a staple in the college basketball tournaments. Then people started going, we don't want to go to Alaska anymore. We want to go to Maui. We want to go to the Bahamas. We want to go to Palm Springs. That's where you and I is going.
Can't blame
We want to go. Yeah. Who wants to go to Alaska, where now it's like dark all the time?
Yeah.
They're like, no, we're gonna go to the beach in Maui. That sounds like a better thing to do. 515-517-2303. That's the number to call if you want to participate in the show. Coach Joe Woodley from the Drake football team going to be joining us at 7:30. Big game for the Bulldogs coming up this weekend at Drake Stadium, taking on Morehead State, and a chance to wrap up an FCS playoff spot. Also, we have some off-the-couch stories to tell. Off the Couch brought to you by Fiscus Jewelers. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vents, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
There's more Iowa in the Iowa Tap Room than you may realize. Housed in a building nearly as old as Iowa itself, the Iowa Tap Room greets you with a harvest of 120 Iowa craft beers on tap from all corners of the state. And the food doesn't get much more Iowa than this. The Iowa Tap Room, all Iowa beer, one amazing place.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza. The patio is open and ready for you, your friends, and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening this summer at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know. High-quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig, plantation rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on therushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Cheaper, cleaner, and homegrown. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
November's here, and that means Thanksgiving's right around the corner. And here at Willis, we are thankful for you, our guests, for entrusting us with your vehicle and service needs. The holiday season means travel, and that means extra miles on your car that can cause wear and tear. Save that for your pants after all that turkey. And while we can't fix your slacks, we can make sure your car's in tip-top shape. So come on down to Willis for 10% off an oil change. Give us a call or schedule online at LandRoverDesMoines.com.
For the holidays, bring real taste to the table with Gold Peak Real Brewed Tea. Made with real tea leaves and real cane sugar, Gold Peak delivers a golden, brewed for taste flavor that makes every moment more meaningful. Whether you're gathering with family or friends, celebrate the moments that matter the most, because real connections deserve real refreshment. For your upcoming holiday celebrations, choose Gold Peak Tea and bring real taste to the table.
Like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Hour number 2 of the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Good to have you along on a Tuesday. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com or the Rush Radio Android app or the TuneIn app, thank you so much for dialing us in this morning. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and of course, leave your comments in the comments section. You can also follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Where'd Ross Peterson go to? He just disappeared on me. Where the hell did he go? I just got a text. Oh, it just said, big F word. Happened about the same time yesterday. Damn, Ross. Damn. Maybe he needs fiber. Don't you think, folks? Don't you think Ross needs fiber? I got the fiber. Maybe Ross needs to get the fiber now. The internet is a weird, weird thing. And when you do an internet radio show, you rely on the internet. And Mike said he lost his internet. Yeah, he lost his internet. Now, yesterday it took about 2 or 3 minutes to recycle. And I was having the same problems. That's why I right now I've got a redundant system in my house. I don't know how long I'll keep the redundancy, but I got the fiber about 2 weeks ago, and I noticed yesterday they finally got like the permanent line thrown in there, and I'm fully hardwired right now. But I'm not getting rid of my other cable, so I got 2 Wi-Fi systems going in the house just in case the fiber doesn't work. I'll probably do that for a month or 2 before I fully trust it, because change is really hard for me. Change is really, 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 really hard for me. And when I change, I'm put in outside my comfort zone. Like I got a new setup for the audio portion of it, and you may hear some differentiation in audio because I got a new board. I did some new things. We're kind of tweaking it a little bit. Hopefully, we'll get it all dialed in. But change is hard for me. You put something new in front of me, I'm like, oh, I like the way I did it. Oh, I like the old way of doing it. Here he is. Are you there? I can't hear you. Can't hear a word you're saying. Can't hear you. Now he goes away. He was on a different camera, though, so I don't know what he was doing. Man. Well, we're here till 8 o'clock, and you just get me. I do want to remind you that the Fiscus Jewelers Gem Trunk Show is coming up on Saturday, November 22nd. That's going to take place from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can pick your favorite gemstones, design a custom holiday piece, and yes, get $250 off a custom design, and that's only going to happen on that day only. Now, Nolan is and the great people at Fiscus are going to have fun giveaways throughout the day. Perfect time to create something one of a kind. It's Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life. Now, don't forget, here at the Rush Radio Show, we have a wonderful promotion working with Fiscus Jewelers. And we want to help you get off the couch. That's right. We want to help you get off the couch because you have a chance to win a 7-carat oval AA quality blue topaz 10 by 14 millimeter jewel that's valued at $400. All you have to do is submit your story, and you could be picked to share on air. Top 3 stories picked by Ross and myself will be voted on, and one lucky winner is going to be picked on Friday, November 21st. Instant get-out-of-jail card from our friends at Fiscus Jewelers in Ankeny. And, you know, how do you do that? Well, we got a lot of entries on over the weekend, and we got some more entries that came in yesterday. So I'm going to read these stories. I wish Ross was here to react. I think he would add a little context to these and have a little bit of fun with them. But you know what? The show must go on, and I'm going to, well, let's see. Let's see if he's here. Are you there? No, I can't hear you now. If you want to use your phone, you could. It's just...
How's that? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you now.
Dude, don't know what's going on with my internet. Locked out. Yeah. So it's not... Anyway, this is working. So I hope you don't mind this.
No, are you on your phone now?
No, I'm just on my Mac.
Okay. That's weird. That's weird.
Yeah, concerning. I got a lot of concerning stuff in my life right now, dude.
Damn. Well, I was getting ready to read some Fiscus Jewelers.
Oh,
stories.
yeah. Do that for us.
All right. So this one comes from Cody. Cody writes in, several years ago, I wanted to get a new vehicle for our growing family. My wife wasn't too thrilled with the idea. She told me, well, if you're going to do it without me. I took this as get it figured out without her having to test drive and deal with the salesman and stuff like that. In hindsight, I should have realized it meant we don't need a new vehicle. I proceeded to the dealership, test drove, started the paperwork, had everything done, just needed my wife to sign on the dotted line. I drive the vehicle home. I show her what I did, expecting her to be excited and want to jump right in and go with me to finish the paperwork. Boy, was I wrong. She was so pissed. One, because she meant do it 100% on my own and not need her signature. And two, when we were signing the paperwork, the finance guy kept trying to upsell us. It really pissed her off. To this day, she gives me hell for that purchase, so much that when we needed to replace that vehicle, I checked and triple-checked with her before going to Willis Nissan to buy our Nissan Rogue. Thank you for going to Willis, by the way. The process at Willis was so much better, especially with my wife this time. I think this got me out of the jail card and really put a bad purchase in the rearview window. Finally, help me out.
Something needs to put her over the top and back onto his team, and this would help.
So, Ross, let's talk. That's our second car story. We also had the boat story.
Yeah.
I've never, ever made a major purchase like that without my wife being 100% on board.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying she was always 100% on board. She was probably maybe 95, but going, okay, do we really need to do this? Like the Land Rover Defender we have. She's like, do we really need a Defender? And I'm like, well, talk about one. Do we need it? No. But I made the justification because we were looking at other cars, and I said, well, it's all in the same price range, and this is actually a better deal. And now that she drives the Defender, she's like, I never want anything else but a Defender. So that gets me off the hook. But when you were married, did you ever just make a purchase without running it by somebody?
Nothing major like that. No, nothing major.
Yeah.
No,
all right, Devin.
I mean,
Go
I
ahead.
get it. I don't want to say it's like disrespectful to do it. Everybody's relationship is a little bit different. And if you feel comfortable doing that, fire away. I mean, like I told you, my dad bought a house without telling my mom about it. So, you know, some guys have that confidence and ability. I wouldn't. I would have always brought in the wife.
Devin writes in. He says, my wife, Katie, likes to pack her own lunch for work. And a few years back, and only married for a year or so, I found out the hard way, as is par for the course, not to come between a woman and her food. It was harvest season, so I take it Devin must be a farmer. And I'd come home late and decided to have a couple of drinks before bed and got the bad case of the munchies. I opened the fridge, found deli meat, and slammed it, along with forgetting to tell my wife there was none left. Fast forward to the next morning. She's making her lunch for the following day. I receive a text asking where the meat is. Where's the meat? I responded by telling her I polished it off the night before. She informed me that there had better be deli meat in the fridge before she heads out in the morning, or I'll regret my decision touching her food. Small town Iowa where I live, there's not a lot of options, and they were pretty slim. I did come across a hometown Subway that still had its lights on. Walked in, told the employees my situation, and for the price of a footlong, I got footlongs worth of sliced ham and the salvage life. Ever since, my wife has her own drawer in her fridge with a do not touch food, and my lunchbox and water jug are in the closet on top of the dog food. Lesson learned.
On top of the dog food.
Listen, I'm going to give Devin creative freedom here in a kudos to walk into a Subway and go, hey, here's the situation I'm in. I don't want a foot long. Can I just buy the meat?
I'm just in trouble. My wife needs lunch meat. Can you guys help me out with that? I think that, and by the way, good on Subway to be like, yeah, we'll just charge you for a sub and give you the meat that would go in that sub. That is creative. I would not have thought of going to Subway.
No. Lights, because Casey's isn't open. They probably don't have a quick star. You're driving around. There's the small town grocery store is not going to be open. Subway, they have lunch meat.
Very creative. I like it, Devin. That's smart.
Yeah, I like that one. Our final one this morning comes from Colin.
Okay.
This was actually a few years ago, but a good story. I'm not very romantic. And she points that out. So I tried to change that. I wrote her a poem, and I framed it, and she absolutely loved it. Okay. Until she heard the poem on the radio a few days later and realized that I just wrote down the lyrics from a Keith Urban song. We still don't talk about that day very much. He took the lyrics of a song, framed it, did not give attribution to said lyrics, and called it a poem.
Imagine her surprise, Trav, when she was driving to work that day. She's like, he did a song. He had his poem turned into a song. It's Keith Urban. My husband doesn't know Keith Urban.
He tries to be romantic, but where you screw up, you're like, hey, honey, I got you a gift. This is my favorite song, and it makes me think that would have been good enough. You don't take ownership of the words.
Yep, and you took the time to write it down and do all those other things. Maybe that would have been enough. It would have been better than just doing it and having her hear it on the radio. Oh, that's great. You always hear these stories of artists, they hear their song on the radio for the first time and like the joy that brings them to hear it, be driving down the road and hear their song on the radio. This is the antithesis of that. This is the exact opposite of she heard it and she went, that's my husband's poem. Wait, like that moment of realization, that's a good one. Colin, star by your name. That's a good one.
Yeah.
But are we really helping him here? Would we really help Colin in this situation?
Well, she heard the poem on the radio. If he won a gift for her on the radio, would that?
But again, I'm not trying to bash you here, Colin, but in a way, you still haven't come up with your own idea here. Maybe she would even see this as like, oh, you doubled down on this thing? What, you get all of your stupid ideas from the radio? I don't know. I'm interested if we would actually help Colin here or not.
It's a good question. But through the first 2 days of the we've had some tremendous stories.
These are good. This is exactly what we were hoping for. Yeah.
So keep it going. We want stories for tomorrow. And now you've kind of see what people are giving. And listen, if you're married, if you have even a girlfriend, if you're engaged, there's been at some point you've been on the doghouse. There's been some point you've been on the couch. You have to have those stories. And all we're asking is you be a little vulnerable. And go ahead and go to therushradio.com. You click on the promotions tab, and there's just a little form to fill out. And I'll read your story. And I try to do it with some passion. I try to put some inflection behind it to sell it a little bit more.
Hey, but I think we're going to be good to go here.
Oh, really?
Well, let's see. Hold on. Give me one more minute here.
Let's Ross. We are listening to Ross be an engineer on his own. He doesn't have Raleigh Reuben King to come to the rescue right now.
Wish I had you, Raleigh. Need you, Raleigh.
In the old days, now Ross probably did the old-fashioned thing, and he shut it off, turned it back on. That didn't work. So the next best thing is to shut it off and then hope it works. You have it off for 5 minutes. So let's do this. There you are.
Go. See that?
There you are.
I'm right back here. So we're going to shut this down over here. We're
going
to do one of these numbers like that. And now we're
know what you are? You are a troubleshooter, Ross. You are absolutely amazing when it comes to the troubleshooting.
You nailed it. I turned it off and turned it back on.
Tyler goes, he's got Mick's camera. Remember Mick?
Poor Mick.
Oh, I don't feel sorry for Mick. That guy lives the life.
He does. You're right. No, you're right. That was the old MacBook. Oh, I don't know what happened there, dude. Here's what I don't like. The last 2 days at 7 o'clock, that internet's gone out.
Yeah.
I've never had an issue with my MetroNet. Never. I've always thought it was rock solid. Today, I wonder if it wasn't this computer, though, because, the Mac was working.
Well, what were you downloading because you tried to go to FARC earlier on and they said like Cloud Lifter is
that was on my Mac.
Okay.
Courtney wants to know, for your female listeners, can they submit a time they were wronged or had to put their partner's spouse on the couch?
You know what? Absolutely. I need to say this isn't for because 95% of our audience is male. We tend to cater to a male audience.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't do that because we have a number of female listeners, just not as many as the males. But, if you're a female and you wronged your husband, or if you felt you were wronged,
there you go.
Then absolutely bring these stories in. We are not withholding sex when it comes to this. We will take female submissions.
How do we do same way? Just send Trav an email.
No. Go to
the website. That's right.
Go to the website.
rushradio.com.
Yep. And hit the promotions tab and tell us your story. I bet the females, and I'm begging. I do want a female story. And
Dude, the females could come with way better stuff.
Yes.
Because the guys are all like, "Yep, I'm a dummy. I screwed up." The women, I mean, not to stereotype here, but they remember.
Well, here's what I'm betting is that the guys that have written either 4 sentences or 1 paragraph. Yeah. I'm willing to bet that if a woman we are going to get a novel. We're going to get a play-by-play of what actually happened.
It started in 3rd grade.
That would be my wife, actually, because we met in 2nd grade. It started in 2nd grade at Tri-Center Elementary.
Love the idea, Courtney. That's really good.
Yeah. Way to go, Courtney. Way to look out for the show. She's a good woman, Ross. Hang on to her.
Well, I hope that these stories don't come back with one time Ross.
I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. You are perfect in every way. I've never known you to screw up.
Uh-huh. I have. I've screwed up twice today. Been up for 2 hours.
How'd you screw up today?
I'm just kidding. I just fall short of the bar all the time, dude.
My wife said the other day she finally likes me. It took 33 years, but she finally likes me.
That's good, dude. You did it. I knew you'd win her over. It's that persistence you have.
Yes. Jolie says, good question, Courtney. I've been a listener for 15 years.
There you go, ladies. Fire away. Get on to therushladio.com. Go to the promotions tab.
And make it that simple.
Tomorrow could be an epic on the couch day.
Oh, I know.
Oh, if we get a couple of women that write in and go, let me tell you what I like.
Now I really want the women to write in.
Yeah.
Yes. Tyler says, it's because you're not an empty nester again. No, I think she's starting. It's because I'm calm now, or fairly calm. I don't think I've raised my voice for a long time.
Senorita Puffer asks if she can submit her story in Spanish. You absolutely can, Senorita Puffer. We just won't be able to read it.
Or I'll just have to copy it and put it in the chat GPT and say, please translate.
Me gusto. I can't read it.
My wife wants to call in now. That's from Captain Kirkhawk. She can call in, but I'd rather have her just write it in.
Nope. Good idea, Courtney. Like it. Like it a lot.
Yes. Way to go. The Iowa basketball team going to be on the Carver Hawkeye floor tonight, Ross, taking on Southern Illinois Edwardsville. This is the team that just beat Drake. It's a 7:30 tip. It's going to be on the Big Ten Network. First meeting ever between these two schools. It's going to be a game Iowa wins. I do believe that. But there's a couple things I'm anxious to watch to see, how Bennett starts. He's scored over in double digits every single game so far for the Hawks. And the other one is being the 7:30 tip. I want to see what the crowd is like. Is it going to be over 11, 12,000?
Okay. It's funny, Trav, because all I was thinking when you said, the things I'm going to be looking for is that energy again, that intangible that I have seen from this team so far this year. Like we talked about, that energy on both sides of the ball. But I think that's a really good, hard metric there, is what does that crowd start to look like? Because we did say last week, or earlier this week, yesterday, the winning is going to start inspiring people to get out a little bit more, and you'll start to see people showing up if you can continue to do this. Tonight's one of those nights that's a really good thing to keep.
Is that a weird thing to say? Hey, that's what I'm going to look at, because I'm assuming that Iowa's going to win this game. I'm not worried about Iowa competing in this game. Now, anything can happen. I get it, but for the most part, I think everybody believes that Iowa's going to beat Southern Illinois University Edwardsville. But there had been times when I would play 7:30, 8 o'clock at night under the old regime where you're like, hello, 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 hello.
Right.
And there was no energy in the building. Or will Hawkeye fans go, you know what? I don't care if it's 7:30. We're going to put, to me, a success tonight, if they get 11 to 12,000 people there, boom.
I like that.
You're getting closer to getting to a sellout. People are buying in. And now the Friday night one, they had over 11,000. That's a Friday night. It's a rare Friday night. Here you got a Tuesday night. You're playing a dog team. If you can pack them in there, I'll be like, all right.
It shouldn't matter, Travis. It really, if Ben McCollum's going to get what he wants out of this thing from the fan base, what Ben McCollum wants is to win basketball games.
Yes.
But from the fan base and from that energy perspective within the arena, tonight, the day of the week doesn't matter. The opponent doesn't matter. It really shouldn't. And I know they do. It shouldn't. You look at what happens up at Hilton Coliseum, because that's what we've always looked around and gone, wait, there's always been 1,000 reasons why people weren't showing up for Iowa basketball, for Iowa men's basketball. And then they all fall apart as soon as you start talking about it, because the women all of a sudden show up, start winning. They've got Caitlin Clark, and it doesn't matter if it's Tuesday night against New Albany. It didn't matter. You had people packing the place. And you looked up at Ames, it was like, well, maybe it's because it's closer to their metro or closer to their fan base. Had nothing to do with that. had everything to do with the energy around the team. And I think that, Ben McCollum's got that energy going the right direction. Tonight is a good metric for that, dude. I think that's a good thing to keep an eye on. Because, again, they should win the game. They should walk away with the game. It should be an easy win. What does that look like from the fan perspective? Because I'm watching it on TV. I know what I'm expecting, that thing that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Great defense, fun offense, electric play, ball moving around the court. Those things that we've seen already from this team. That's what I expect to see sitting at home tonight. What happens inside the arena, I think, is a really good thing to take away from it.
Yeah, because it would be an indication of, okay, you're playing a style of basketball that's entertaining, that people want to be a part of. Now, and, use Iowa State as an example. They played Stonehill last night. 13,000 people showed up at Hilton Coliseum for Stonehill. Now, it's not a sellout, but damn, 13,000 for Stonehill. You're going to go watch a blowout.
Exactly what I'm talking about. But they show up. Why do they show up? Because of the team. Because of the electricity that happens inside of the arena. That's what Ben McCollum wants to start building with the Iowa men's basketball team. Is it too early to expect that? I think that your number is right. Maybe over 10,000 should be the number that you're looking for.
And we'll get a good idea just by watching television where they have that in there. I'm sure the box score will say a little bit more than the actual paid, but at the end of the day, you can watch a game and go, hey, there's a decent crowd there. And that's what I'm going to be looking for. Northern Iowa also in action tonight. They play Northern Illinois. It's the last of a 4-game homestand for the Panthers. They then head west next week. They'll play UC Irvine, then stay out there for a holiday tournament in Palm Springs. So Ben Jacobson has the Panthers unbeaten, and again, they're home tonight against Northern Illinois. Don't forget, you are looking for a holiday experience? Well, you can find it with the Coca-Cola Holiday Caravan. It's rolling into central Iowa, bringing thousands of sparkling lights, festive cheer, and unforgettable holiday moments. Photos with Santa. Create memories that last a lifetime. Free holiday portraits. Perfect for family celebrations. All these events with Atlanta Coca-Cola Bottling Company and the Coca-Cola Holiday Caravan are open to the public and free of charge. So invite your friends and family to join the fun. It's going to be in town November 26th through Monday, December 1st. Follow Atlanta Coca-Cola Bottling Company on social media to find out the places where they will be. When we come back, Joe Woodley, head coach of the Drake Bulldogs, scheduled to join us. Huge weekend for the Bulldogs as an FCS playoff spot on the line on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. For the holidays, bring real taste to the table with Gold Peak Real Brewed Tea. Made with real tea leaves and real cane sugar, Gold Peak delivers a golden, brewed for taste flavor that makes every moment more meaningful. Whether you're gathering with family or friends, celebrate the moments that matter the most, because real connections deserve real refreshment. For your upcoming holiday celebrations, choose Gold Peak Tea and bring real taste to the table.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vents, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
November's here, and that means Thanksgiving's right around the corner. And here at Willis, we're thankful for you, our guests, for entrusting us with your vehicle and service needs. With holiday season comes travel, and all those extra miles can cause wear and tear on your car. Save that for your pants after all that turkey. While we can't fix your slacks, we sure can make sure your car's in tip-top shape. So come on down to Willis for 10% off an oil change. Give us a call or schedule online at willisvolvocars.com.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on the RushRadio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
A fuel choice that even rivals can agree on? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
Hey, it's Noel from Fiscus Jewelers. This holiday season, give the gift of sparkle that lasts a lifetime. From our latest designs to timeless favorites, there's something for everyone on your list. Already have a Fiscus diamond? Bring it in and trade up with our 100% trade up program. It's the perfect way to shine a little brighter this year. And if you're dreaming up something custom, get your design started by December 1st for Christmas delivery. Let's make this season magical together. Fiscus Jewelers, your jeweler for life.
The largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know, high quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
It's November and I know what I'm thankful for. A running car for all my travel ahead. To keep your car on the road, bring it in to Willis Nissan for brakes, tires, oil changes, the main courses, and the sides. Schedule your appointment online today at willisnissan.com and we'll see you on the service drive.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. Good to have you here. Big weekend coming up this Saturday at Drake Stadium. The Bulldogs are going to be home to play Morehead State. It's the last home game of the season. It is senior day, and it's also a chance to make the FCS playoffs. Joining us now on the Rush Radio Show, head coach of the Drake Bulldogs, Joe Woodley. Morning, Coach.
Morning. What's up, boys? How we doing today?
Doing well, man. You know, there's it's a colder Tuesday, but that's all right. How nice win for you guys. Nice road trip. How did that feel?
Yeah, felt really good. You know, we knew coming down these last two games we were in control of our own destiny, and you know, going out to Dayton's never been an easy place to play. You know, at Drake, at least from my conversations with folks, and for us to go out there and do that against a really good team. They were 6-3 and still very much in the hunt for the conference title as well. And for us to go on the road and do what we did and win in the manner that we did, you know, it just kind of showed you the toughness and character of this football team, and just real proud of them, and certainly proud of the coaching staff as well. Put together a good plan, and it was I've never, I shouldn't say never, but it was one of the windier football games I've ever played in. And this stadium, it actually sits right next to, you guys are familiar, they play that first four basketball into the tournament at that Dayton Arena. It's right, that sits in the parking lot, and it's like they just dropped a stadium in the middle of a enormous parking lot, and there's no trees, there's no nothing. It's just a wind tunnel. It's probably windy when it's really not even windy, but I mean, there was gusts of 40 miles an hour, and I started a true freshman at punter. It was his first time punting, so we survived and overcame all those things to win a really hard fought game. So again, just real proud of our guys, and you know, sets us up for a pretty big game this Saturday.
Huh. You know, when we had you on last time, you were talking about, you know, mistakes, little mistakes that would still, you know, haunt you that you'd like to get solved. Against St. Thomas, I think those existed. Did you eliminate those during for the Dayton game?
Yeah, for the most part, Travis, we were pretty much penalty free. We had one face mask penalty that did really cost us, but I think I probably mentioned when I talked about that, you know, those I can live with. Yeah, they're hard to stomach, but this one it wasn't malicious. It just kind of happened type deal. The problem was it was 3rd and 23, right near the red zone, and gave them an automatic first, but we were able to survive it and held them to a field goal, and they missed it. So overcame that. And then we had one late that I thought was, they called kind of a late hit / personal foul, which I wouldn't say I necessarily agreed with it, but it got called, and it was probably close enough. And now that I feel like the outcome was in hand, it was kind of us sealing the game. Of course, we just like to make it hard on ourselves instead of just strolling right to the W. We got to move it back 15 yards. But all in all, yeah, Travis, I think we're getting better in that regard. And again, I just have such a great sense of pride with that, and we'll continue to make that important in this program, because it's hard enough to win, and when you do things to beat yourselves, man, it makes it really hard. And we're I don't know that anybody's good enough to overcome that stuff all the time.
I got a couple questions about the running game, but I want to start with your quarterback. Logan's is a pretty mobile quarterback. How do you coach that? Do you have conversations with Logan about not taking a lot of hits or trying to stick to the running game when you're handing the ball off? How do you handle that when you've got a mobile quarterback like that?
Yeah, there's a fine line, right, Ross? You don't want to go into a game and in the game plan have 30 runs for your quarterback, but and really it depends on the time of the year too. This time of the year, hey, we got to do what we got to do to win a football game, but early on in the year, you're trying to be a little bit smarter with him, trying to get to the finish line, so to speak. But I think he's he's kind of walked that fine line, and I think he's handled it pretty well of when to get down, when to put your head down. And he's just a tough kid, for a true freshman. Man, he's taken some shots, and especially his first game being that South Dakota State game, he got baptized pretty early. So he kind of saw what it was like with the best of the best, and I think that really prepared him for the rest of the way. And again, just continued to be impressed by his resilience, toughness, leadership, all those things. But I don't know that you necessarily coach it a specific way, Ross. I mean, I guess the common denominator is just try and be as smart as you can, stay out of harm's way when you can. If there's a sideline there, get out of bounds. If you feel like two guys are flying in at you, maybe you just ought to get down. Now, if it's 3rd and 3 or 4th and 1, and hey, you got to do what you got to do for the team. And like I said, I just think he's really balanced that pretty well.
So let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Sean Allison had an incredible game for you against Dayton. What he had 12 tackles. He picked off a couple passes, had a huge pass breakup on 4th and 12. He's your Pioneer Football League Defensive Player of the Week. Just what a tremendous effort.
Yeah, I think Sean embodies what what we want to look and feel like as a program, and he's really bought into this coaching staff, and again, that's a credit to him. It's a credit to a lot of our guys, because it wasn't. I can't imagine it was easy for them, accepting a new staff after they had just won 2 conference championships, and we had to earn that with them. And again, I'm not saying we're all the way there with them, but I certainly feel that way about Sean, just by the way he interacts with us, the way he practices, the way he prepares. And it's, it's always funny, the guys that do all those things the right way, 100% all the time, it usually yields great results. And it all kind of came to fruition there Saturday for him. And 2 enormous plays, especially that first interception that, they were driving down to, maybe go up 7-0, and he picks one off the end zone on a heck of a play, a read by him. And again, and he's about as physical a football player as we have. I mean, when you look up Mike Linebacker in the dictionary, there's going to be a picture that resembles him. I can promise you that. He just plays the right way, and again, he has the ultimate respect of all of his teammates, and just couldn't be happier for him. And he's having a hell of a, he's got one more year with us too. So it'll be nice knowing that we have him back again and continue to build things around him, because he is really special, and he's been special to me, being a new head coach, and he's kind of been an extension of us, and just real proud of him.
Morehead State this weekend, noon kickoff, and a lot on the line here, Coach. Is this something that you guys have talked about, I hate to say the pressure of this game, but really what's at stake here with the win on Saturday?
Yeah, I talked about it briefly right after the game. We were going to enjoy Saturday, no doubt about it, but we had to shift our attention here pretty quick, and then again I addressed it in our team meeting Sunday night. It's hey, this is the playoffs. This is that's kind of how you got to look at this thing. It gets you. This is the first round of the playoffs, and you got to take care of business. But what I think our guys have done such a good job of, and this week it'll really be no different, is they've never really looked ahead. They've always just focused on. And I know it's boring, but they do. They're extremely focused. They work really hard, and they just try to be the best they can be, each and every day, whether it be in meetings, out at practice, and I just think that translates to Saturday. And again, you've got a team coming in here, Morehead State's won 4 in a row. I don't want to say they have nothing to lose, but I got to believe they're going to empty the chamber. With what they got, they're not going to the playoffs. They're playing for a 7-win season, which is pretty darn good. I don't know. I thought I read somewhere it's been since the year 2000 that they've won 7 games. They came into Drake Stadium last year and made it hard on Drake. They beat us in the second to last game of the year, and Drake had to go win the final game of the year because of Morehead coming in here and winning. So believe me, they got our full attention. They're a really good football team. Like I said, 4 wins in a row, and but again, we're at home, looking forward to the opportunity. We didn't play our best football game last time we played at Drake Stadium, and we certainly got a lot to play for, and I know our guys will be ready. They'll be excited for this one, and again, it shouldn't. I shouldn't have to fire them up for this one. It's a decision. It's a choice you make. You shouldn't need anything to get you going, and I believe our guys will be in that frame of mind.
I was perusing the Pioneer Football League website yesterday, which may be the first time in my life I've ever done that.
Hey, I appreciate it, Trav.
I'm just full transparency, but I was going through the tiebreakers, and I'm sure you've looked at the tiebreakers. And there's basically 3 teams still left in this thing, right? I mean, it's you, Dayton, you, St. Thomas, and San Diego. I think still have a chance, right?
St. Thomas does not. It's Presbyterian, San Diego.
Oh, Presbyterian.
And
Presbyterian.
Yeah.
But then I started looking at them. I'm like, I don't even care about the tiebreakers because all you have to do is win. That's the main thing. And that's kind of what you're thinking. Just take care. I mean, don't worry about the tiebreakers. You worry about that if something bad happens, but it's really just go out and win.
Yeah, it is, Travis. And there's a scenario, in the event that things didn't go our way Saturday that we could still possibly get in, but trying to not let that creep into our minds, and really it's just going out and trying to play in your best football game, and you're going to have to live with the results, whatever that is. You're going to have to get up, look in the mirror, and live with whatever result that is, and hopefully for us it's taking care of business, taking all that stuff out of the equation, and win and get the opportunity to go earn to play more football, and that's the goal right now.
I know you don't want to look ahead, but, there's always an assistant coach that's kind of in charge of the next scout, right? I mean, they're working a week, or you work a week ahead, some, right? Is that the same way in football as it is in basketball? Somebody's looking ahead?
Yeah, always. Yeah, you just trying to get ahead so you're not too far behind on Sunday when you get going.
So in a case like this where you don't know what's coming up, is it like look at every Missouri Valley Conference school that may make the playoffs because the odds are you may go to a Missouri Valley Conference team?
Yeah, we won't really have an advanced scout this week. It just I don't know. I don't want to give somebody a lot of unnecessary work for because you just don't know, and there's just so many factors at play. And the reality is because the selection show I believe is Sunday at 11 o'clock. We'll hopefully we're in that position of finding out who we're going to play, and then from there it's just going to be a long day. I mean, that's just the reality of it. Long couple days, and you just that's just what you got to prepare for. It's and really it was not a ton different from my experience at Grandview. You find out and you go, and you do as much as you can, and to me sometimes we overanalyze too much as a coach too. And I've talked with my coaches, and because sometimes they always tell you, well, they didn't really do what we thought. Well, what does that tell you? We just need to be better at what we do then, and that's That's the bottom line, and sometimes us as coaches can overcomplicate things, and I've always just been a firm believer. And now you've got to be prepared for the most part. At least you got to understand who their personnel is. I would say is the biggest piece for me. But then it comes down to, how are we going to execute, what we do best, and how can we make it hard on them is, really the best, to me, has always been the best kind of remedy for that.
If I'd have told you at the beginning of the season you'd be racing into this position and really be counting on some true freshmen at those key skill positions, what would your reaction have been?
Well, if I was counting on true freshmen, yeah, I'd have been a little nervous if you told me that at the beginning of the year. But if you told me we'd be in the position that we're in here, with one game left to go, my goodness, I think any coach in the country would take that. And I'm certainly no different. So, yeah, just thrilled, that I got this opportunity a year ago, and a lot's went into it. I was just talking with my wife last night. We won that national title at Grandview last year, and my winter break, just time off just did not exist. It was just 1.5, 2 days, and it immediately went into this season, hiring a staff and just kind of learning the nuance of Drake. And, so I'm certainly looking forward to, I shouldn't say I'm looking forward to the season to end, but just knowing that, that's not out there this time.
Is it weird, at Grandview, you knew, even if you lost, well, you never lost a regular season game, so you knew you were in the playoffs every damn year. Is it weird that even if you, I mean, being on that, because the PFL is only going to get one team, right? I mean, that's all it's ever going to get. So is that add a little pressure to you?
Yeah, I think coaches put enough pressure on themselves to win week in and week out. Believe me, nobody wants to win more than we do. I can assure you that. Even though, whether it be fans or families or whatever, they think we're trying to screw up the game half the time. But believe me, we're doing everything we can to win, and we're fighting and clawing. But I like I said, the pressure enough is within our walls, and that's okay. We chose this walk of life, this profession, and that's part of the deal. But to feel, I think there was maybe a little bit of a sense of urgency this season just because of the success that they've had the past 2 years. Yeah, I've wanted to make sure this senior class had an opportunity to, again, I'm just coaching the football team. I'm not out there catching balls or making tackles. I wanted to do everything I could to help them get put in a position to be in the position we're in, and here we are, and it's just worked out well.
All right, Coach. We wish you the best of luck. We appreciate
man.
We appreciate you taking our text and going, "Hey, you got time tomorrow?" And you're like, "Sure." And
I don't react like that.
No,
I don't react like that.
I still need to come see you, Coach. I got a present for you. I bought for you back at the fair. That's how long it's been since I've seen you. So I got something I need to bring to you.
All right.
The fair.
You guys have been with me a long time, man. So don't ever
we love you, buddy.
on
Hope
that.
you know that.
Don't even hesitate.
We're really rooting for you here, buddy. Go get them.
Well, I can't wait till I'm in town and we can go have a drink and a beer and then have a real conversation.
Now we're talking. Yeah, stuff we can't put on the air, right? Yeah.
Oh, we can put anything on the air.
Well, yeah, now you can. I hear a couple slip ups, or not. They're not slip ups anymore.
They're not slip ups anymore.
And I every time you guys say one, I'm like, whoa, oh yeah, I guess they can do that now.
Yeah. New world, baby. New world.
East side, man. East side.
There it is.
I love it.
There it is. All right, Coach.
Go get him, Joey. Take care,
we'll touch
buddy.
Base. Hey,
All right,
by
boys,
the way,
appreciate
well,
you.
I'll be in touch this weekend after the selection show because you're going to make it, and we'll talk maybe on Monday morning.
Yes.
Yeah. No problem. Sounds good,
Love
boys.
that. All right, buddy.
See you, Coach.
Go get him.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Coach Joe Woodley joining us on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. I mean, the guy doesn't change. I think
I thought you were going to say he's in a good mood, and I was going to say, dude, that's Coach. That's Coach.
And that's what I mean. I'm like, you just like, driving to work in my F-150 and
dude.
But there's something to be said about that level of consistency. You don't ride the highs, don't ride the lows. Just
this is their line. Never as good as you think, never as bad as you think. I've heard that. I've heard that a dozen times from a Woodley in my life. It's never as good as you think, and it's never as bad as you think. And that's why you get that consistency there. When things are going really great, you hear that thing of like, yeah, we're going the right direction. When they lose a game, you hear that exact same tone of like, hey, things that we learned today. We got even in the loss, we got better. We figured some things out. And yeah, big game on Saturday. They're going to win that game, and then they're going to lock themselves in. But, Travis, you did look at the tiebreakers. So
yeah, I was trying to find it again, and it was all there yesterday on the PFL site. Now I can't find it. And I'm like, how did I even find that? But
I love when we have Coach on and you see things like this. Man, he's great. I'd play for that dude. Even people that say, man, did I just hear a coach say playoffs? That's nice to hear. That's great to hear a coach acknowledge what all the fans and all the people that are paying attention are aware of. It's great to hear a coach say, yeah, that they even talked about it, right? That we really enjoyed Saturday. We get a W, but at the same time, we did have a conversation about what's at stake here. First year, and I know he would be the first one to say, I took over a really good program. We were in a good spot from day one. You got to be really happy with the fact that you came in here, have had the success you've had, and again, doing it with some true freshmen at those skill positions. Travis, that's got to pump you up a little bit.
Absolutely,
yep.
A noon kickoff, and I know Iowa's at home. I know Iowa State's at home, but man, if you weren't going to either one of those, get up to Drake Stadium.
Hawks play at 2:30. What time is Iowa State's kickoff? Oh, okay.
11.
All right. I was going to say, because man, if they were both at 2:30, you could at least get down there for first half.
Yeah.
See some football. Go support the Bulldogs. That'd be great.
But yeah, win and you're in. It's that simple,
it's
right?
That easy. It's that
easy.
Just go beat a team that's rolling on 4 straight wins and has a ton of momentum and coming in with a bullseye on your back. It's so easy. Just go out there and do what you have to do.
I forgot that Morehead won last year, and Drake needed to win that last game of the year. So there's a little payback there too, right? I mean, if you need motivation, it's, hey, this team beat you last year. You have a conference title on the line, an outright conference title on the line. You have a playoff spot on the line. Oh, and you get to play a team that beat you last year. It's time for payback.
David says he's going to try to get over to Drake Saturday to watch the game. David, keep your keys in your pocket.
Oh, it's David. Yeah, David's the one who lost his keys in Iowa City last week. Yes, might be. Yeah, you don't drop them on Forest Avenue. No. And that's probably got to be the hard part about, the PFL, which would be, and that is, no matter how good you are, you could be amazing. You're only going to get one spot in the FCS playoffs. The odds of playing at home are slim and none.
Oh, that's not going to happen. Do you know, Travis, by chance, because I know you were kind of alluding to this with Coach about what that first opponent would look like? You said it will almost certainly be one of the teams from the Missouri Valley.
I would assume that. Now last year it wasn't, but I always kind of go, do they want to keep people close, right? Avoid.
That's why you're thinking it'll be a Missouri Valley team, just because they'll look at travel and proximity for that first round.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if they have to go to North Dakota State and play the number 1 team in the country, or do they go to South Dakota again, or do they go to South Dakota State again, which they played those teams. This is the thing is, I was joking for how close Drake played them. I guarantee there were some coaches going, yeah, remember when I asked him after the South Dakota State game, they said, hey, they say good game and we can't wait to have you back. And he was like, I don't think they want us to come back.
They say good game. And remember where your bus is parked. Get the hell out of town.
Yeah. Man. No, it's always good to hear from Joe. And we're going to hear from Coach Todd Stepsis from the Northern Iowa Panthers. Their season will wrap up this weekend. He'll be on Thursday. And he's like, he texted me the other day.
I was going to say a little bit of a switch up on Thursday.
Yeah, a little bit of a switch up. He's moving to 7:30 because they're going to practice in the morning so they could all watch the state high school championship games. So the staff and the players are going to get together and watch. So he's like, hey, do you think it would be okay if I went at 7:30 and Bruno could switch? I said, I'll just tell Bruno he's going to switch. And he gave a laugh at that. But
then I noticed you asked Bruno.
I did ask Bruno. I wanted to be nice about it and say, hey, Bruno, Coach Stepsis would like to go at 7:30.
Yeah, Bruno gets it too. Yeah, and I like how Coach Stepsis says, we and the team want to watch that. You mean the coaches?
Yeah.
We're recruiting. We're talking about
we're
talking about recruiting here.
This is the one time I can watch guys, right? It's like,
he's not recruiting. He's just observing football from his office.
Aren't those weird rules that they all have to fall under?
I mean, I know you've got to have rules and you got to have guidelines, but
watching a kid in person, once?
All right, so Tyler says the top 16 will get a bye, bottom 8 don't, which makes the first round regional-ish, he says. So probably in that first round wouldn't play against NDSU.
No, probably wouldn't be NDSU. Yeah. You're right.
Won't be, because they're going to be they'll definitely be a top 16.
But maybe maybe a Youngstown. It depends on who all gets in, right? I think last year they went. Correct me if I'm wrong, because my memory's not that great. I think they went down to Texas last year.
Man, I don't remember, Trev. You could. They could have played in Easton, Massachusetts. I wouldn't remember.
Look at you pulling the Easton, Massachusetts line out. I like
Audrey
it. She's feeling better today, by the way?
When the internet went down. Yeah, she's feeling better today. Yeah.
That's good. Good.
It was one of those days, Trav, you've done this with the kids. Yesterday, she was like, my throat hurts. I don't think I can go to school today. By about 9 o'clock, she was 100%. I was like,
Well, did you take her to school then?
You weren't
Did you take her to school? Because you can always go to school late.
That's what we should have done. We should have just went to school. No, her and I had a fun day yesterday. Went out to Dick's, got some new cheer shoes, had lunch at Costco, got us a chicken bake. It's good, wasn't it?
I think she just wanted to skip school and be with her dad. There's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that, too.
All right, don't forget about the holiday season, which you can find some great stocking stuffers with the Iowa Lottery. Say no to basic gift giving and give the gift that keeps on winning. Holiday Scratch and Instaplay tickets from the Iowa Lottery. These holiday tickets make great stocking stuffers, and you can win instant prizes ranging from $500,000 to $250,000. But if you hang on to your non-winning tickets, you could be one of 55 people who win up to $100,000. Get entered before 10 a.m. on December 3rd for your first chance at $10,000. Plus, keep entering for a second shot at $10,000 before January 7th. Check out iowalottery.com/VIP for details. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's 25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
Hi, I'm John Linares with Willis Lexus, and this November, we're starting early. We are starting our December to Remember sales event today. First off, I want to highlight a special lease on 2026 NX Gas. It's $409 per month with $49.99 due at signing. Or you can take advantage of rates as low as 2.49 for 48 months or 3.49 for 60 months on IS model, all ES models, NX Gas, RX Gas, and TX Gas, and as an added bonus on 2026 RX Gas, NX, and TX Gas models. I invite you to stop in and take the new Lexus for a test drive, or visit us online at willislexus.com where you'll find some special offers.
'Tis the season to share great taste. Grab a refreshing Coca-Cola and make every moment a celebration. Locally made, nationally loved, Coca-Cola is the real deal when it comes to holiday cheer. Whether you're kicking back after the game or hosting the crew, nothing hits like that crisp, fizzy taste. Make this season yours. Grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola today.
After Hawkeye football games this fall, Travis and Ross are right where they belong, with you taking your calls and giving unfiltered feedback. Right after Hawkeye football games, it's the Black and Gold Rush on therushradio.com, the TuneIn app, and on YouTube.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.